Hello. All right, I just wanted to do this quick. That's what I do. I do quick. Why do I do quick? Well, because I don't actually know how to do editing. So everything's on the fly. I don't have anything scripted. I'm just doing. Think of it as you're hanging out with me and I'm just, showing off some stuff. So we'll keep it simple. What I wanted to do here is show you how you can have a budget rifle without it looking like a budget rifle. Now, I found this wonderful little website. No, they're not a sponsor. I don't have any sponsors. I don't have any subscribers. That's not true. I think I have like 24 of them. 20, I don't know. I don't really pay attention. I don't post enough that I expect anyone to subscribe. If suddenly I had a bunch, I probably would be just forced to make more videos with different content. I have plenty of ideas. I just don't have the time or the understanding of how to edit properly, nor do I have the equipment to make the kind of quality videos that I'd like to do for everybody, but here we are. Anyway, this is a AR-15 platform rifle. The barrel is chambered in 5.56. I choose 5.56 because one, I could find them inexpensively, cheaper than 223 Wild, and I could shoot 223 or 5.56 through them, with supposedly varying differences in accuracy between the two. I don't know because I'm not that good a shooter. The range I go to is a public range. It's only about 100 yards. I can hit what I need to hit. I haven't shot for groups to know how accurate all of my weapons are. I do have a handful of rifles that I built. This particular one is one that people take interest in because it's a little pretty, but it is a budget-minded build. That's a BCM stock, BCM grip. They were not expensive. It's your basic mag pull, Gen 3 mag. I've got plenty of those. Anyway, you take a look at the upper. The upper is actually arrow. Not the whole upper. I should say the handguard and the upper receiver, because I assembled all this stuff separately. The little bits like this, your forward assist, which I'm sure there's arguments to be made whether or not it's necessary or not. The forward assist, the charging handle, and the lower were all purchased from Tactical Expressions, actually, online. It's an Anderson lower. The barrel's a Bear Creek barrel. It's stainless steel fluted. There's a very basic, A2 or bird cage or whatever you want to call it, flash hider on the front. And from, I can't think of the manufacturer now, or the website I got it from. The Bolt Carry Group, which all of my AR builds I use, because I actually would think it was like $140. It's nickel boron coated. I'm a big fan of nickel boron coating. You'll find out. It's easy to clean. It's practically self-lubricating, although when I go to shoot these things, I make them wet. Don't get me wrong. The trigger group is also nickel boron coated. Now, this is either from AT3 or from Dirty Bird. I don't remember which one because I bought one of each for two different builds that I was doing at the time. And because I wanted to test them out and see if there was any difference between the two. I don't notice a difference between the two, but I'll tell you this. It's a mil-spec style trigger with just a nickel boron coating. And what that does is it smooths it out. It's not gritty like, your standard mil-spec. It's pretty damn awesome. I think they were like $40. I'm going to say somewhere around $40, $50 tops. As you see, Tactical Expressions. Sorry, I just woke up actually, and I probably shouldn't be doing this right now. That's who sells. They have different receivers with different prints on them and stuff. I have another one that has actually the Mandalore Horn Beast on it and the charging handle instead of saying Don't tread on me, the charging handle says this is the way. I haven't finished that rifle. That's why you don't see it here right now. But I picked this for the contrast between the stainless steel, the FDE, the black. I liked it. The sights are also budgety. I don't remember what they cost. I know they were cheap. They are Amazon purchased flip-up sights. They're actually pretty sturdy. They don't shake. They're a good sight. I don't even remember the brand. Can you guys see that? I can't see that. My eyes aren't that good. So, but they work. And I like iron sights, as you may have guessed. I do have red dots on some of my rifles and one of my handguns. But I like irons. There's just something about them. There's something about just, durability, simplicity, whatever you want to call it. The wonderful thing about when you build ARs is there's so many little parts that you can do any way you want, and they're not at all expensive. I wish I built this a while ago, so I don't remember the price on everything. But as you see, it's got sling mounts. Anyway, I don't even know what else to say about it, aside from it's a very simple mil-spec AR that looks cool. Or looks like more than what you'd expect. Now, what do you think that cost? I know there's somebody out there, I can build that for $350. No. Unfortunately, I built this, like a year or two ago, right in the middle of like when there was a parts and ammo crunch and everything, and prices were a little bit higher. But I did assemble it using the Hone. So it's accurized, so to speak. Everything is, I use the right tools. I put it together with precision. I use the right torque specs and everything else. I have tools because I used to be a mechanic. So, and I bought specific tools for the AR itself. I want to say this rifle is about $700, maybe $750. Yeah, about $700 to $750 total. I did the labor, obviously. The reason why I didn't put the magazine in to show you was because I just won't charge it. Hold on. Is because I leave a lot of loaded magazines around, just in case. Just in case. And no, I'm not one of these guys that thinks I'm going to take on the military. I don't intend to ever shoot at another American. But, if the shit really hit the fan, as people say, you need to defend yourself against marauders. How about that? Because those are going to exist. Anyway, gosh, I thought this would probably be easier if I had a cigar in my hand or something. Believe it or not, I'm actually kind of shy. So, that's one of my builds. I just want to give people an example. I mean, if you have any inclinations about putting one together yourself, I recommend it over buying one. See, one of the greater advantages of building your own is it really helps you understand the workings of the rifle. And then if something goes wrong, you know what area might have gone wrong. Now, I'm fortunate so far, all the rifles I built, they all work flawlessly. For whatever reason, luck of the draw, maybe they're that easy to build. I haven't had any issues, not anything that I really had to diagnose. I have, I'd say, a couple of uppers that I assembled myself. Like I said, I bought the barrel separate and put them all together. Picked out the handguards. And I have a couple that I purchased that were already assembled, which I may or may not show some of those in the future. Like I said, I'm not putting out a lot of videos very often because I don't have the time and I don't have the knowledge of how to put out the kind of quality that I'd like people to see. So I'm really just doing this for the sake of doing it. And this wasn't even intended to be a gun channel. It's kind of an everything channel. I have other stuff I want to do. I'm kind of a big kid at heart, so I have I have some G.I. Joe anniversary figures I was going to show off. I have motorcycles I'm into. if I had the money, I'd go start a car project. This was originally intended to be a channel that was going to be around a car project, but unfortunately, as that project moved along, somebody rear-ended me. That put an end to my mechanical career too, by the way, back injuries and such. But the car was destroyed. I parted it out, and I gave up on that. Otherwise, there was going to be how-to videos on that. Like I said, when I find the time, the money, and figure out how to do some editing, I'll try to contribute something else. But that'll be entirely based upon whether or not people are actually watching. If no one's paying attention, then there's no reason for me to keep doing it. Other than for me to, once in a while, put something out there for my own personal archive. I don't know if YouTube's going to be the best place for it anyway. I want to move over to Rumble. I have other things, commentaries rather, about certain social events and other things, and you could probably guess which side of the political spectrum I lean towards. But it may surprise you exactly how liberal I can be about certain topics. Ultimately, because I'm a conservative at heart, but conservatism to me means keeping the government small and out of my business, which means I do believe that people should have the freedom to do more of what they want. It doesn't mean you should be able to force it down everybody else's throats or tell everybody else how they're supposed to live their life. But at the same time, freedom of expression and freedom to do what you want, I think, is important. And I don't think we need to be taxed to high hell so we can give more money to foreign countries, nor do we need enough regulations to create incentives for corporations to bribe politicians to manipulate regulations to help their standing on the market, or steer the American consumer in a specific direction in order to boost their stock value so they could, have their insider trading either. I mean, there's a lot of things I don't like about the way the system works. Obviously, I'm a 2A advocate and shall not be infringed means exactly that in my mind. I don't believe there shouldn't be any regulations on firearms at all. Not a single one. How about that? People like, so a person should just be able to have a nuclear bomb? Yeah, why not? Have at it. Good luck using that, not killing yourself anyway. Good luck having the finances or the facilities to build something like that. I mean, people are very silly. But, one of the reasons why this nation is not under a direct physical attack from foreign forces, as far as troops go, is because of things like this. American citizens are heavily armed. Whether you know it or not, the amount of them is absurd. There's 330 million people, they estimate, as far as Americans go. And, you have some pretty conservative estimates of around, I think it's 60 or 70 million people who actually have firearms. But they weren't really tracking this sort of information until somewhere in the late 70s, early 80s or whatever. And then there's been a lot of things exchange hands in different ways. I'd bet there's more like 100 million people. I would guess, this is an uneducated guess, obviously, because, I'm a jerk. Probably about a third of the nation is heavily armed. And they say your average gun owner has at least 4 firearms. That makes sense. It's a lot of guns. What do they say but then they say there's 400 million guns. So if you're going to count it that way, then there's probably 100 million people with firearms out there. I think everyone should have one. I think everybody should carry one. An armed society is a polite society, right? As I trip over my words again. But that's what they say. And I find that to be true. I moved down south from New York in the sense that up in New York where I grew up, I mean, it was not that unusual when I was younger for someone to literally walk up to you and try to start a fight just because you were looking in their direction. And that's absurd. Whereas down here, I think people may be less inclined because, one, they're smarter and nicer people, and two, because you don't know what that person's packing. I mean, there was, of course, the old saying you don't start trouble with somebody if you don't know who they are, and you never know who they are because you never know what you're up against. But I hope that holds true everywhere in the sense that we shouldn't be afraid of each other, but maybe you just shouldn't start trouble because there's no reason to make trouble where there's no trouble. So my advocating for firearms does not mean I want everybody out there shooting each other, obviously. I think it's a fun sporting tool to have as well. I like going to the range and just shooting at stuff. It's fun. What am I going to say? It's I got into this late in life because I just didn't spend money in that direction. For the same reason I don't have tattoos. I don't have tattoos because I just didn't spend money in that direction. Other things got in the way. When I was a kid, I played with toy guns. Of course, I always had an interest, but I just never crossed the line until I couldn't really build cars anymore because my back and knees can't handle it. And I needed something to tinker with. This was a logical, replacement for the most part. Actually, you can see, I don't know if the camera can pick this up. So I do lubricate them a lot. You see, it's got a little goat oil on there. It's been sitting in the cabinet, so I'm sure some of the goat oil kind of dried up or made a coating or whatever. I usually wipe them down pretty good on the outside afterwards too, but I guess it seeps through. Anyway, this is the rifle I built for somewhere around $750 or something like that. All of the rifles I have that budget. I don't intend on going over like $750 with each one of them. When you think about what the cost of like a lot of these rifles are out there, I mean, what's it for a decent AR anyway? If it's, let's say, Springfield or one of the higher mark M&Ps or Ruger, once you start putting more, interesting furniture on them, or do any of them even have a nickel boron bolt carrying group in them? Do they, what's it cost when you add stainless steel barrel and flip-up sights to it? I don't know. I think they're around $1,000. So you're not saving yourself a whole lot, but you gain yourself a great education. You're more, I don't know what I'm saying, tuned with, but you're more acquainted with what your rifle is. It's kind of like, buy a car, you like to know where all the buttons are and what everything does, right? Well, it's even more fun when you know how it does it. This particular one doesn't have an ambi safety on it, and some of my others do. But again, you see this? I like it. Oh, wait. Can we see this on the back? It's got like a little American flag pattern. This is ambidextrous charging handle. This was cheap too. This is from Tactical Expressions. I don't remember what it was, but I'll tell you this, it didn't cost what a Raptor does. It's probably like less than half the cost. And I don't have a problem with it. You know why? Because I haven't actually gone to war with the rifle. I don't beat the shit out of my stuff unnecessarily. And I think even if I did put it under rougher conditions, the chances of me like actually smashing that against something and breaking it, probably pretty slim, unless I fell off a mountain or got caught in a rock slide. Oh geez, what if I got hit by lightning? I don't know. Anyway, I'm just rambling. Everybody, have a nice day.